That's insane. So you actually never put that on a change logo whatsoever? People just discovered the feature? How the hell people were literally starting fresh projects in Laravel? And how the hell they stay up to date with the latest versions of Laravel? That's insane.
It's pretty mental.
Was Laravel on the very first version a dependency-free framework, like literally zero dependencies?
Oh man, that's a good question. I actually am not sure without like going to look. But it's kind of interesting when I was first building Laravel, the first commit's in 2011, but that's only because I like cleared the GitHub history before I released it. Otherwise, I really started working on Laravel in late 2010. And I know at first, the very first like, I guess like beta or alpha version of Laravel that I ever wrote, it actually used PHP Active Record, which was it was like another library that I did not write instead of Eloquent. And I was like, okay, I'll use this like third-party ORM, and it feels kind of like Ruby on Rails or whatever. And then like the further I got into it, I had to scrap it and write Eloquent, from scratch. But I don't remember if there was any other like third-party dependencies in the first version of Laravel. So you may have to tell me. If you went back and looked at it, you may have to tell me.
Dude, when I looked at that, so first of all, I didn't saw Composer. So from this point, I immediately have a question. How the hell people were literally starting fresh projects in Laravel? And how the hell they stay up to date with the latest versions of Laravel?
Yeah. I mean, so back in those days, and CodeIgniter worked in a similar way. Basically, the framework was typically divided into like an app directory and let's say like a system directory is what I think that's what CodeIgniter called it, is system. So when you wanted to update Laravel or CodeIgniter, you would literally just download a zip of the new framework, and then you would just drag over the new system folder and replace it, but you would leave your app folder untouched. You know what I mean? It's basically like if you dragged and dropped a new vendor directory into your app every time you wanted to update it manually.
Dude, that's
insane. Kind of how all the frameworks worked at the time, like CodeIgniter, Kohana, Laravel, they all worked that way.
That's insane, dude. And honestly, I was literally jumping into that Laravel 1.0. And also something I have found is that some of the things we take as granted today, like the DD function is actually a very good example. That was not a thing on Laravel 1.0. So, which lead up to the question, where DD actually originally came from? It was always something meant to be public, or it just came out that way?
I think it was just something I started using in my own code. I was writing die dump, like the actual functions, like dump inside of die. And eventually I must have just created a helper called DD and that I was using when I was building my own applications, and just like shipped it in the framework because it was so useful.
But
I don't think it was ever like a external package or anything like that. I think it's just something that I created.
That's insane. So you actually never put that on a change logo whatsoever? People just discovered the feature?
I guess so. I don't remember if it was ever documented, like on the helpers documentation or whatever. You'd have to go back to like an old version of the website to see. But it may be that people just discovered it, or just found it in the helpers file.
Dude, it's kind of insane that probably one of the most popular features in Laravel is literally like 3 lines of code. That's insane, dude.
It's pretty mental.